Hey love, so welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to do a video that is a little bit different than what I would normally do on my channel. Actually my face is a little shiny. So this week has been a little bit challenging for me because, as many of you guys may know, I know this is so random, but I was like, felt like my face was shiny. As many of you guys may know, my mom passed away during my IVF cycle, and I talk about it sometimes from time to time on certain videos. And I recorded a video that the day she passed away, I think it was, I recorded a video for my channel and I uploaded it. I have not watched that video. I recorded it and uploaded it just because it was a very, very hard video for me to record, first of all. And second of all, I was like, I just don't want to watch it because I don't know, I'm gonna probably get too sad. But I said all that to say that today is my mom's birthday. She would have been 69. She passed away in August of 2017, so November 17. So this is the third birthday without my mom, and this week has just been it's been challenging. Not necessarily, I haven't been sad, I've just been still reflecting. Every year it's kind of like trying to figure out, you know, of course, the new normal without my mom, especially now that I am a mom. And so this video is just gonna be super casual. I don't really know exactly what I'm gonna talk about, but I really just want to talk about how things were for me going through an IVF cycle while my mom was sick, and actually with her passing away in the middle of my IVF cycle, because I don't know if I actually ever talked about it and like told the story of how crazy everything was and how it happened. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. I'm trying not to talk a long time just because I don't feel like editing, and just because I don't want it to be a long video, but I just really want you guys to just understand where I'm coming from. And so I'm gonna just go ahead and get right into the video. I'm gonna put this up. I just didn't want my face to be like super shiny. Put on makeup for the first time today in a while, and I've been doing a lot of running around. I felt like my face was shiny. So like I said, for those of you that have been following my journey for a while and even followed on 9 months with Courtney Cox, you've heard me talk about how my mom passed away in the middle of my IVF cycle. And so long story short, we moved to Arizona from Michigan in 2016, in November 2016 actually, so it'll be 3 years exactly that we've been here. So I moved here in November, and then in that January, the following January, my mom called me to let me know that she was diagnosed with lung cancer. So it was very difficult because I had just moved like 2,000 miles away. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to be there for her, but I was also starting this new life in Arizona. I was still working on, you know, trying to become a mother. We hadn't yet even known anything about IVF yet. We were just still trying to figure everything out. And so from January, pretty much till August when she passed away, I was going back and forth to Michigan 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a month, traveling on an airplane back to Michigan to help be a caregiver for my mom and just helping take care of her. In the beginning, when we first found out about her diagnosis, she wasn't really sick or anything. Sorry, I thought that was Victory. She wasn't sick or anything. She was okay. And, you know, we were just trying to figure out, just if any of you have ever gone through that, where you've had a loved one that was terminally ill, you're just really trying to figure out, okay, what are the options? What can we do? You know, what are the chances of this actually ending well? You know, and you're trying to picture your life. What, you know, if something happens to this person, how am I going to? So it's just like all these different things that were going through my mind. But I know for sure I wanted to be there for my mom and for my family. So I traveled pretty much every week from Arizona to Michigan, helping my mom, helping take care of her, visiting her, because I didn't know ultimately. I think maybe deep down inside I kind of felt like I don't know if she's gonna, you know, make it through this. So I wanted to make sure I spent as much time with her as possible, but I also wanted to support her through that. And so I did that for months and months of traveling and visiting her. And so we finally had our consultation with our new doctor here in Arizona in May. I want to say it was April, May of that same year. And that's when we found out we had to do IVF. And so around that time is when my mom was getting really, really sick. And for me, I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to put my life on hold. I'm going to go ahead and continue to do this IVF cycle because that's what my mom would want me to do. And so she was really sick, so I couldn't really talk to her a lot about starting the IVF, even though I was super, super excited about doing the IVF cycle and the potential of finally becoming a mom. You know, she was sick, and so I really couldn't talk to her about it a lot. And so that was really difficult for me because, of course, I want to talk to my mom about me hopefully becoming a mom soon. So I went ahead, I started the IVF cycle. As you guys may remember, I started the birth control. I did like 42 days of birth control, so pretty much a month and a half of birth control. I started the birth control on 4th of July. I remember all these dates. It's crazy that I remember that. But I started the birth control 4th of July. And when I finished the birth control, and my mom started to get really, really sick, what happened? I was just like, I have to keep going because I couldn't pause the IVF cycle because that would mean I'll have to start the birth control all over again, which who wants to do that? So I just kept moving forward. And then long story short, when my mom passed away, I was able to be there with her. I had flown back to Michigan that same day and I was able to be there with her. And she passed away. And then I had like a day or two to grieve and try to get the arrangements together, and then I had to fly back to Arizona because I had to start my IVF cycle. And so the crazy part is I started my first day of stems on my mom's memorial service day. So I woke up the day of that day, the day of my mom's memorial service, and I had to give myself a shot in the stomach while I was mentally preparing myself for my mom's funeral. And so that day was just, I can't even remember it because I think it's just such a blur because I was just like, I had so many different emotions. I was so excited I was starting this IVF cycle, but I was so sad because, you know, I was starting this IVF cycle in the middle of one of the most difficult seasons of my life. And so I started my stems the same day my mom's service. And the crazy thing is once my mom passed away, I had to come back to Arizona to get my medications for the IVF cycle. And of course, some of the medications have to be refrigerated. And so I'm packing all this medication up in this little cooler with all these little ice packs so I can travel back to Michigan for my mom's memorial service, for her viewing, and for all this stuff to be with my family. So that whole season of my life is just like a blur to me. And I said all that to say I wanted to tell the story because I don't think I've ever actually told the story. I've told bits and pieces of it. But during a time where I was fighting to become a mom with my IVF cycle, I was also fighting to save my mom's life and to be there for her. And today's her birthday. She would have been 69, I believe. And it's just still surreal. It's still so surreal because there are still times, even now, 3 years later, that I will pick up the phone and almost call my mom, like, oh, I gotta, you know, little things that happen. You know, you have people, like, she loved all the news for like all the celebrities. Like, she could call you and tell you about every celebrity, who they're dating, who, all of that. And so when some things happen, like with certain celebrities, I'm like, oh, I gotta call my mom and tell her that, you know, Blake and Gwen Stefani had a baby or whatever, you know. And so those are the types of times where I have to like really stop myself, like, wow, like I was literally about to call my mom, you know. And it's still, even 3 years later, it's still very difficult. And I just think about how she would be with Victory. She would absolutely love Victory. It would have been her first granddaughter, so she would have been over the moon with, you know, with Victory. And of course, Victory's middle name is Aaliyah, which is named after my mom and Tim's mom's name together. We put them together and made Aaliyah. And so I think it was a beautiful tribute to both of our moms who have passed away. But I just kind of wanted to come over here and talk about my mom, and thank y'all for listening. This week, like I said, it's been a challenge, so I didn't really sit down and record a video for you guys, like, you know, one of my normal like IVF motherhood vlog type of videos. But So I didn't do that, but I was like, you know what, my channel, I always try to keep it real with you guys and share all of my raw thoughts and feelings. And so I was like, I'm just gonna record a video talking about my mama on her birthday, you know, thinking about how I would have been celebrating with her, because my sister and I, we started this tradition where we would go, that is a loud car, y'all hear that car? My sister and I and my mom, we started this tradition where we would all go out of town. So some of the most memorable trips, we went to Paisley Park. You guys know where Prince lived. The year, I think it was the year he passed away, we went there. That was one of her birthday trips. We went to Mall of America. And so I think about those type of things. We also went to this beautiful town in Michigan called South Haven, which is really, really pretty. It's right on the lake. So those are the types of things that we would all do together. And I think about what would we be doing now if my mom was here. We would be somewhere on a trip together, doing who knows what, enjoying each other. And so I said all of that to say, you know, cherish your moms, cherish the moments you have with her. And, you know, you just never know from year to year, because the year I moved to Arizona in 2016, I had no idea. She went from being an extremely healthy person one year to being gone the next year. And so when I moved to Arizona, I had no idea it would be the last year that I would be spending with my mom. And so today's her birthday. I just wanted to celebrate her by just talking about her and telling you guys pretty much the story of how I was going through an IVF cycle while losing my mom, and how she passed away. And you know, the doctor gave me the option to start all over again. I don't know if I already said this. My mind is like, the doctor did give me the option to stop the IVF cycle and take some time to grieve. But I was like, I'm not about to start all over again. Like, I can't, you know, life is one of those things you can't hit pause on. You can't say, hold on, life, just stop, just pause for a minute. I want to grieve, and then I'll pick back up where I left off. Like, life keeps going. Like, when my mom passed away, it's like everything just kept going forward, and you didn't even have a moment to just sit back and say, okay, you know. And so that's really it. So I don't know if, I mean, I've heard of a couple of people who have reached out to me and said they lost their, you know, one of their parents, or lost someone close to them while doing an IVF cycle. And so it's a very difficult situation to be in, because IVF itself is already difficult enough, and then you have something else that you're dealing with, which is stressful in itself. And so, you know, it's tough. And so that's really it. I don't want to talk a whole lot. I've already been talking for 15 minutes, and I don't even really know. I don't even know what I've been talking about. But I want to thank you guys so much for listening. I probably just needed to talk. Maybe that's what it was. I just needed to talk. Today's my mom's birthday, as I said like 12 times already. And I'm not sad. I don't want you guys to think like I'm sad or anything. I'm just, you know, I'm just really thinking and contemplating, and really just trying to figure out my thoughts and my feelings. And I think I just needed to kind of get them out, you know, talk through them. And so I really do miss my mom a lot, but I know that everything happens for a reason. I really, really do. And I really believe that. And I think knowing that is what has helped me to not be so sad, you know, not to like literally just fall apart while dealing with that. You know, 2016 was a terrible year. Not 2016, 2017. 2016 was a good year because I had my fibroid surgery, and then we moved to Arizona. So I was like, okay, 2017 I was thinking was going to be a year of new beginnings and of all this like new stuff. And then 2017 was the worst year of my life. And I've told you guys this story before, but I lost my best friend to cancer. We lost our spiritual father, and then my mom passed away, and then we had a failed IVF cycle all within 10 months. So that was my 2017. And so now I know people come to my channel now and they see me on social media and they see all of this beautiful ending with victory and everything, but people always want to judge your story by the chapter they walked into. But you guys have to realize all the things I've gone through to get me to this point I'm in now. So 2017 was a very, very tough year for me, and I'm just so grateful that God is faithful. He is faithful, and I feel like a lot was taken away from me, but I feel like even more was given back to me, even more joy, even more peace, even more with victory. She's more than I would have ever imagined she would have been. Even working 10 years to get her, she's everything and more that I ever needed. And so I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know I've been talking a long time, but I want to thank you guys so much. If you're not yet a part of my family, I want you guys to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can join my family and you can hear about all the things that I'm talking about every week, and you can join my journey. And I actually am going to be talking a little bit about male factor infertility. That's the video I wanted to record this week. I just couldn't get myself together to actually sit down and record a video. So that's probably one of the next videos I'll be doing, is talking about male factor infertility. And so yeah, be sure to join my family by hitting that subscribe button. And if you guys, if you have something to say, I don't know, just comment down below. I don't know what you could have to say, but if you guys want to comment down below and just talk to me and just tell me something, whatever. Also, my social media is down below as well, and my website for my new business is linked to this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing week, and thanks for listening, and I'll be back next time with another video. Bye.